Welcome to the course on C257 Data Communication and Networking, Week 5, Session 2. In this session, students will learn digital to digital conversations as well as analog to digital conversations. The main focus will be the digital transmission. In digital to digital transmission, students will learn line encoding and its schemes related to line encoding. At last, students will learn serial and parallel communication. There are various conversion techniques available for any data transmission. The first one is digital data and digital signal. So this type of conversion is known as encoding technique, where digital data is encoded in a digital signals. Another encoding method is analog to digital encoding, where analog data is encoded in form of digital signal. Third conversion technique, which is known as modulation, which is digital to analog conversions, where digital data is converted into analog signals and analog signals will be transmitted from one end to other end. The last type of conversion technique is analog to analog conversion technique, which is known as analog to analog modulation. So here, question is what type of signals to use in what kind of encoding and modulations. In last topic we have seen each signal has its own characteristics. Maybe it's a digital signal or analog signals. Depends on situation and bandwidth available, we can select type of signal for transmission. Digital to digital, and digital is data and digital is also signal. So in this type of transmission, we are going to discuss three types of techniques: line coding, block coding, and scrambling techniques. Before that, let's look at the data characteristics. Data, normally, it may be sequence of ones and zeros. The worst case, it can be sequence of zeros, or it can be sequence of ones. In reality, these two cases are not possible. It is worst to worst case. But in reality, there may be sequence of ones or zeros. 0, 0, 0, 0. There may be 5 zeros followed by 5 ones or 6 ones, or maybe followed by 2 zeros, double 1, 0, 0, and so on. So any mixtures of sequence of zeros and ones will be the real scenario. So the discussion in these sessions, we will focus on the real-time scenario, but we will also discuss what happens in case of worst-case scenario, where there is continuous zeros and continuous ones are there. They may be also part of real-time signals. That may be a sequence of zeros, sequence may be sequence of ones. Let's see first method, that is line encoding or line coding. Line encoding is a process of converting digital data into digital signals. So let's look at what is digital data and digital signals. So in this diagram, we can say this is digital data that is in form of zeros and ones. So this is digital data produced by the machine or computer, and we place encode over here to convert those digital data to digital signals. So this is digital signals and this is digital data. So line coding this technique converts the sequence of bits into digital signals. So ones and zeros are converted into electrical pulse. At the same side receiver, there has to be a decoder which interprets the signals or electrical pulse available on link, and it converts back into zeros and ones. So if sender sends zeros and 0 sequence of 0, 1, 0, 1, the receiver should exactly receive 0, 1, 0, 1. That's a goal. If there is a little bit change over here, that is known as corrupted data. So corrupted data, the receiver has to drop those corrupted data. So in data communication, the main goal is to send data elements, means ones and zeros. But how can we send? We can send in form of electrical signals. And there are two types of electrical signals: digital signals and analog signals. So we will discuss regarding to digital signals in these sessions throughout. In digital data communications, a signal element carries data elements. Data elements are what we need to send, and signal elements what we can send. We cannot send data elements directly. We need to convert those data elements into signal elements. We define a ratio R, which is very important property over here, which is the number of data elements carried by each signal elements. So in that sense, R equal to data elements upon signal elements. So let's see one example case by case. What is data elements and what is signal elements? What other combinations are available for data elements and signal elements? This is the first example where 1 is represented by negative pulse, 0 is represented by positive pulse. So in this case, to represent 1, 0, we require one signal pulse, that is positive pulse. To represent 1, we require negative pulse. So to represent one data elements, we require one signal elements. So that's why the ratio R, which is data elements upon signal elements, equal to 1 upon 1. So it becomes 1. So R equal to 1 in this case. Second case, this is the boundary of one data elements and this is boundary of one signal elements. But over here, to represent either 1 or 0, two signal elements are required. In two signal elements, the complete signal elements, half of negative pulse, half of positive pulse in case of 0. In case of 1, it may be different, half of positive pulse or half of negative pulse. So one data elements per two signal elements, so R equal to 1 by 2. So the data elements, signal elements, data element is over here 1 and signal elements are two signal elements, two signal voltage levels. So it's a 1 by 2. R equal to 1 by 2. Third case shows to represent two data elements, we may have one signal elements. It's opposed to the previous case. So in that case, data elements are 2, signal element is 1. So data element upon signal element equal to 2 upon 1 equal to 2. The fourth case is to represent 4 data elements, we need 3 signal elements. One is positive, one is negative, one is 0. So in that case, the R becomes 4 by 3. 4 is data elements, 3 is signal element. So with respect to data element, signal element, let's go through their the unit or measurement. So data unit can be measured in terms of data rate, and data rate defines the number of data elements sent in 1 bit. So it's a unit is bit per second. Same way signal rate, it's a number of signal elements sent in 1 second, that is signal rate, and unit of signal rate is baud. So normally it is known as baud rate. The goal in data communication is to increase the data rate while decreasing the signal rate. So that means increasing the data rate increases the speed of transmission. Decreasing the signal rate decreases the bandwidth requirement. This is one example for digital signal transmission. 1 is represented by positive pulse, 0 is represented by negative pulse. So let's look at what are the problems associated with digital signals or digital transmission. So we can understand in which case, which line encoding method we can use for transmission. So there are 6 problems associated with digital transmission. You can see over here. The first one is baseline wandering. Second one is DC component. Third one is self-synchronization. Fourth one is built-in error detection. The fifth one is immunity to noise and interference. The last one is complexity. Out of all this, we are going to discuss about first 3 very much in detail. Built-in error detection. So signal has to be such a way that it can detect the signal error automatically. So that is known as built-in error detection. So that we will see in block coding and scrambling techniques. The next is immunity to noise and interference. Signals should be such a way that it should not immune to noise. and there has to be very low interference. Complexity to generate these signals, it's very easy. 1 can be represented by positive pulse, 0 can be represented by negative pulse. So it's very easy to design, but if you have multi-levels, so that we have to keep track of these alternative levels. So to design this kind of signal, it's very complex when we want to send from a sender side. Same way, at receiver side, it becomes very complex to detect whether it's a combination of 1 1 0 0 or any other combination. So that complexity in terms of generating a signals and identifying signals. The baseline wandering is a first problem. It is also known as baseline skewing. So what happens when we transmit any data? How can we say this is positive and this is negative? We can say this is positive and this is negative because of this reference line. This is known as baseline. So if by chance, if the baseline is skewed upward or downward, this is baseline skewing up and this is baseline skewing down. So these voltage levels is nearer to 0 voltage. So this could not be recognized as a 1 at the receiver side. So if this baseline changes its location with respect to 0, if it goes upward or downward, the receiver could not recognize whether it's a 1 or 0. So how does receiver calculate this? Receiver takes average of all the received signal and it calculates a baseline for it. So for example, if there is a consecutive ones are there, then the baseline at the receiver sides, if it takes average of all these one, the baseline goes upward direction. For all negative, if we are sending negative pulses, the baseline wandering or baseline skew goes downward direction. But if we send alternates and ones and zeros, a receiver side, if it takes average, so this line will be same as it at the receiver side, and receiver could easily identify whether it is 1 or 0. So that phenomena is known as baseline skewing. As I already discussed, the incoming signal power is evaluated against the baseline to determine the value of the data element. A long strings of zeros and one can cause a drift in the baseline or baseline wandering or baseline skewing and make it difficult for the receiver to decode correctly. A good line encoding scheme needs to prevent baseline wandering. Second problem associated with digital transmission is DC component. When the voltage level in digital signal is constant for a while, a spectrum creates very low frequency. Means if we consider this is a continuous one, and for continuous one, the frequency would be 0. This is amplitude, the frequency spectrum, the frequency would be 0. So it creates very low frequency, or it's nearer to 0, or it's about to 0. So that's why results of Fourier analysis says that it could be very low frequencies. Practically, this is true. Theoretically, it's a frequency equal to 0. These frequencies are around 0, as we discussed, also called DC components. Presence problem in system that cannot pass low frequencies, or system that uses electrical coupling. Electrical coupling, there are two major devices comes into picture, capacitors and transformer. While transmitting data from one machine to other machine, if intermediate device is made of transformer or capacitor, so likely if it is a DC component, so it cannot identify whether it has to be amplified or not. I can say that the DC component means 0 or 1 polarity that can cause baseline wandering. Also, long distance link may use one or more transformers to isolate different parts. So those transformers may lead to a change in your original signal. The third part is self-synchronization. Let's look about what is self-synchronization and how does it occur. To correctly interpret the signals received from the sender, the receiver speed intervals must correspond to exactly to the receiver's exactly to the sender's bit interval. Let's take one example. This is a sender example. Sender has sent this signal, and this is receiver has received these signals. If you look at the width of this pulse, the sender side and receiver side both are different. The sender side, and if you compare these two, the receiver side it is having a narrow width of pulse, and over here sender side it is having higher than the receiver one. So sender sends 1, the receivers, because of its narrow width of pulse, it could recognize 1 and 1, because this is positive pulse, it recognizes 1, again it follows the same positive pulse, so it recognizes again 1. It does not matter that after a middle of this pulse it goes down, or your positive pulse will becomes negative pulse. It does not matter over here, but majority of the part in this pulse is positive, so this receiver recognizes it is 1. Similar way, the sender has sent 0, the receiver has received 0, sender has sent next to 1, but it considers it's a 3 consecutive ones. So this is known as synchronization problem between sender and receiver. So till so far we have discussed the parameter which affects or which we should consider to be taken care while transferring data or digital signals. There are 5 categories of line encoding scheme exist. The first one is unipolar, then polar, bipolar, multi-level, and multi-transitions. So let's look at one by one. Let's start with the unipolar. NRZ unipolar, there are 2 flavors of NRZ, unipolar NRZ and polar NRZ. This is very simple example of NRZ, a very simple example of digital signals where the V volt is represents 1 and 0 volt represents 0. So in this case of NRZ, if there is consecutive ones, signal would look like this. It's a constant line. This is x-axis, this is signal. So this method suffers from presence of DC component, no synchronization, and baseline wandering. Because if there are consecutive ones or consecutive zeros, in case of consecutive zeros, the x-axis it's equivalent to the signal level or data signals. So that's in both the case, either ones are in consecutive zeros, it presents DC component, there is no synchronization, and there is a baseline wandering. So this NRZ method is not used. It's an absolute version of unipolar encoding method. Another method is non-return to 0. These are the two types of NRZ, NRZ-L and NRZ-I. The signal of NRZ-L, if you look at this one, the 0 will be represented by plus V, 1 will be represented by minus V. 0 again plus voltage, 0 again plus voltage, 1 is minus again. And NRZ-I, I stands for inverse. The first 0 it will be positive, the next one will be negative. For next 0 it will repeat the previous one. So beauty of over here, 0 indicates the repeat the previous signal. If there is a 1, invert the previous signal. So if it is 0, it repeats the previous signal, again 0, repeats the previous signal, that's a negative voltage. It encounters 1, so it has to invert the previous voltage. So previously it was negative, so now it becomes positive. Again 1, the invert of previous bit will be applied over here. So previously it was positive, now it takes negative. Same way this for this one, and for 0 repeat the previous signal. This non-return to 0 suffers from baseline wandering if there are long sequence of zeros and ones, especially in NRZ. So that won't be problem in NRZ-I. But NRZ-I, if there are long sequence of zeros, it also suffers from baseline wandering, DC component, as well as no synchronization. NRZL and NRZI both have a DC component. And if you look at this bandwidth requirement, so if you look at the frequency distribution, the frequency is very high at 0. So it shows there is a presence of high amount of DC component is present over here. As I said, both the methods suffers from synchronization. Next method is return to 0. Return to 0 uses 3 voltage levels. The problems, 3 levels of voltage, which is more complex to create, and it suffers from baseline Q. This is example where this is first voltage, that's a negative voltage, this is 0 voltage, and this is positive voltage. So it uses 3 voltage. Return to 0 by the name itself, return to 0 means at middle of the transition, middle of this pulse, it transits to 0. Whether it's a 0 or 1. For the 1, middle of the 1 is positive, it starts with positive, but when it reaches to middle of this pulse, it transits to 0, and it stays to 0 until this whole pulse gets completed. The duration of one pulse gets completed. For 0 again, it starts from negative, but in middle of the pulse, it transits to 0 and it stay here until this width of pulse or the pulse duration gets completed. So if you look at this bandwidth distribution, so this is very good characteristic of return to 0. It is having a baseband bandwidth distribution as opposed to NRZ and L and I. It is having a low pass channel. Over here, it low pass channel is not because there is absence of 0 frequency. The frequency is concentrated at center of this one and uniformly distributed on left side and right side. So in case of DC transmission, we require such kind of signals. But again, return to 0 has certain problems. Problems are it's complex to create. It suffers from baseline Q. Synchronization will not be a problem. Why? Because this middle of transition in middle of this pulse itself, the receiver side we can recognize whether it's a 0 or 1. So receiver side can synchronize themselves. So this is return to 0 is a very good characteristic. It is having a bandwidth is bandpass filter. Using bandpass filter, we can transfer it. And second one, synchronization is available in part of data signal. Next one is Manchester encoding and differential Manchester encoding. So if you look at this pulse, 0 is represented by one positive pulse, half positive, transit to negative, and half negative. 1 is represented half negative, transit to positive, half positive. So this is Manchester encoding that at 0 starts with positive and half pulse is negative. In same way as 1, half negative, half positive. So in middle of this pulse, it transits from positive to negative in case of 0, or in case of 1, it transits from negative to positive. And if you look at the bandwidth requirement, bandwidth requirement is lower than the previous method. Another method is differential master encoding. Differential master encoding, 0 starts with negative, it goes to positive. But 1 will be inverted. If the next bit is 1, the previous signal will be inverted. So it starts from positive and goes to negative, and it stays up to negative for half of the pulse duration. Again, it's a 0, so it will repeat the previous signal. So this is the previous signal, it repeats the previous signal. Again 0, it repeats the previous signal. It is 1, then it inverts the previous signal. 1 inverts the previous signal. So we have talked about unipolar encoding method and polar encoding method. Let's look about bipolar encoding method. In bipolar encoding method, sometimes or many textbooks or reference material you will find multi-level binary. There are 3 voltage levels, positive, negative and 0. The voltage level for one delta element is at 0, while the voltage level for the other element alternates between positive and negative. Let's look at the example. So this is AMI, method is AMI, alternate mark inversion. So first the 0 will be represented as a 0 voltage, the 1 will be represented as a positive voltage, again 0 will be 0 voltage, 0 for 0 no voltage, and 1 will be represented by the invert of previous bit. Till so far in Manchester and differential Manchester, if the next bit is 1, it will invert the previous bit signal. But in this case, if next bit is 1, it will invert the previous data element whose value was 1. So over here it was positive, now it encounters 1, so it becomes negative. Again 0, it's a 0 voltage. Pseudo ternary, it's a inverse of AMI. 0 will be represented, or 0 will toggle from positive to negative. So you can see this is first 0, so that's why it's a positive. Next 0, that's why it's a inverse of previous 0. This is inverse of previous 0. And this is inverse of previous 0. And 1 will be represented by 0 voltage. The bandwidth is having very good characteristic. It requires narrow bandwidth over here. The bandwidth will be between 0 and 1. It's a very good characteristic as far as the bandwidth is concerned. The bipolar scheme has the same signal rate as NRZ, but there is no DC component that we have seen. The NRZ scheme has most of its energy concentrated near 0 frequency. So NRZ, if I draw the plot over here, NRZ, this is NRZ frequency. So NRZ frequency is concentrated over here at 0 frequency. Or all the energy, this is energy, all the energies are concentrated near to 0. But in this case, AMI, all of the energies are concentrated middle frequency, center frequency. Because of this characteristic of this bandwidth characteristic, it is used for long distance communication. It suffers from synchronization problem when a long sequence of 0 present in idea, but these synchronizations can be solved by incorporating subsequent another method. We'll see in next upcoming slides. Next method is multi-level schemes. The goal of data communication is to increase the number of bits per baud by encoding a pattern M data elements into pattern of N signal elements. That's why this name is known as MBNL, where M is the length of the binary pattern, how many number of bits which represent binary data, B means binary data, and this N indicates the length of the signal pattern, and where L indicates number of levels in signaling. An example, 2B1Q. 2B1Q means where M equal to 2, this M equal to 2, and N equal to 1, this N equal to 1 over here. B stands for binary, Q stands for quaternary. Quaternary means 4. So 2 binary data means this is combination of 2 binary data, and this 1 quaternary, there will be 4 signal levels. So these are the 4 signal levels, -3, -1, +1, +3. These are the 4 signal levels. Different signal levels indicates different combination. Let's say 0, 0 is -3, 0, 1 represents -1, 1, 0 represents +3, 1, 1 represents +1. And the bandwidth distribution for this signal is, it's a concentrated near to 0, which is equivalent to NRZ L and NRZ I. The average signal rate of 2B1Q is S equal to N by 4. This means that using 2B1Q, we can send 2 times faster data than NRZ L. Because if we see over here, one signal level, one signal element represents 2 data elements. So we can transfer twice faster than NRZ L. However, 2B1Q uses 4 different signal levels, which means the receiver has to discern 4 different signal thresholds. So it's a very difficult to identify various different 4 levels of signals. If we have a 0 or 1, which indicates positive or negative value, so if there is a, because of attenuation, positive value may get attenuated and it will have a minor positive voltage, but at receiver side it can recognize it's a positive. But in case of minor variation between 2 signal levels, in case of 4 different signals, it becomes difficult whether it is 1, 1 or 1, 0 because of attenuation. So it becomes difficult at the receiver side what is whether signal data elements is 1 1 or 1 0. The advantage of 2B1Q is reduced bandwidth, and there are no redundant signal patterns in these schemes. Redundant signals we are going to see in skewing, scrambling technique. The 2B1Q scheme is used in DSL, Digital Subscriber Line, to provide high-speed connection to the internet by using subscriber telephone line. So at our home, the signal comes in form of DSL, Digital Subscriber Line, and that uses 2B1Q method. Next method is 8V6T, where 8 binary data will be represented by 6 ternary data. 6 ternary means 3 body levels. This code is used in 100-4T cable. The idea is to encode pattern of 8 bits, as it is 8 binary, as a pattern of 6 signal elements, where the signal has 3 levels, ternary. In this type of schemes, we can have 2 raised to 8 equal to 256 different data patterns, and 3 raised to 6, 729 different signal patterns. The mapping table is shown in appendix F in the sense next slide. There are 729 minus 256, 473 redundant signal elements that provide synchronization error detection. This is an example of 86BT, where these 8 bits of finite binary pattern will be replaced by this minus 0, minus 0, 2 plus. So 3 signal elements, minus, 0 and positive. 3 signal elements are required over here. So these 6 binary patterns are replaced by 8 binary patterns are replaced by 6 ternary data elements. Each signal pattern has a weight of 0 or plus 1 DC value. This means that there is no pattern with weight of minus 1. To make the whole stream of DC balanced, the sender keeps track of the weight. If the two groups of weights are encountered, one after another, the first one is sent as it is, while the next one is totally inverted to give weight of minus 1. So that is it's mentioned over here. If you combinedly plus them together, the result will be 0. Negative voltage plus positive. So if you case here as well, here as well. So this is very good scheme which doesn't have a baseline wandering, because the average line would be 0 in this case. So that's a good thing about 8V60. The next method is 4D-PAM5, 4-dimensional 5-level pulse amplitude modulation. 4D means that the data is sent over 4 wires at the same time. It uses 5 voltage levels, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. However, one level is 0 is used only for forward error detection. Let's see one example. This is an example where 4 pair of wires, this is 1 pair, 2nd pair, 3rd pair and 4th pair. So total 8 wires we have in Cat 6 category cable, where each pair is sends 250 Mbps of data, and that this signal value will be sent over 4 different pair of wires. So you can see the first signal is transferred over here, the signal is transferred over here, third is transferred as it is, this third is transferred over here, and the fourth one is transferred over here. So for these 4 different elements of these binary patterns are transferred over 4 different pairs of wires. At receiver sides, it will be received and it will be combined together to create 8 bits. So that this scheme is using Gigabit Ethernet. This multi-transition is derived from state transition diagram. So this state transition diagram will decide what happens when the next bit is 0 or next bit is 1 this current situation. So once we start with 0, the next is 1, so it's positive. So when it is 0, next bit is 1, then it is last non-zero, what positive minus value or positive value. So what was the situation of last non-zero level? Was it positive or negative? Based on that, it goes minus or it goes positive. So this is first 0, that's why there is no previous bit. So we must consider right side. That's why it goes 1. The next bit is, if next bit is 0, after 1, next bit is 0, the repeat signal itself. So this next bit is 0, the repeat the signal itself. If the next bit is 1, which is the next case, so it goes to 0 voltage. And at 0 voltage level, the next bit is 1, it checks whether the last non-zero level was positive or negative. In this case, it was positive, so it goes in negative direction. It was positive, so it goes in negative direction. And then if the next bit is 0, then again negative direction. So this is the method of multi-transitions, MLT3 method. Let's see summary of all the line encoding methods. In unipolars, we have seen NRZ, polar NRZ and NRZI, and biphase even. The bipolar, we have seen auto AMI, amplitude mark inversion. Multi-level, we have seen 3 methods, 2B1Q, 8B60, 4DPM5, and multi-transition MLT3. So in MLT3, no synchronization is present for long sequence of 0. However, for long sequence of 1, it has self-synchronization. Same way, in NRZL and NRZI, there is no self-synchronization. NRZ is having no synchronizations for long zeros, long sequence of zeros and long sequence of ones. NRZL, it suffers from self-synchronization for long zeros and 1. However, NRZI has invert method, so it doesn't have any problem with related to long sequence of 1, but it has a problem related to long zeros. In biphase, we have seen 2 methods, Manchester encoding and differential Manchester encoding method. So there is a presence of self-synchronization because it transits from positive to negative at the middle of pulse. No DC component because its average becomes 0. So there won't be a baseline wandering, and but requirement is its characteristic is high bandwidth. So it requires a high bandwidth frequency range. AMI, no self-synchronization for long sequence of zeros, but however for long sequence of ones, 1 is inverted with respect to previous value of 1. So for long sequence of 1, there is a self-synchronization, but if long sequence of 0 is there, there is no self-synchronization. Same way 2B1Q, there is no self-synchronization. 8B60, very good for self-synchronization. It has a self-synchronization present because all the bit patterns of 6-bit patterns are replaced in such a way that there won't be positive or negative. The sum would be 0. Same 4DPM5, that's it is having self-synchronization. There is no presence of DC component, and these two doesn't have a baseline boundary. So this is summary of all the line encoding scheme.